Good morning, students. Today we are going to start a new lesson, A Truly Beautiful Mind. Oh wow, name of the lesson is very interesting. Beautiful mind means mind which is full of beautiful thoughts for human beings, for the welfare of society, for the welfare of human beings, right? So in this lesson we are going to read about such a personality. He is Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein, who was a scientist, his theories has changed our thinking process about space and about human beings, how the experiments can be used for the welfare of human beings and society. Now let's start because I'm going to teach this lesson with the help of this PPT. Whatever I'm speaking, you all can see that on the screen too. The story recounts the life of an outstanding scientific personality, Albert Einstein, from his birth till his death. Means what he has done from his life when he was born and when he died, what he was and what he became. Albert Einstein was born on 14th March in 1879 in the German city of Ulm. For about 2.5 years he could not speak, and when he did learn to speak, he uttered every word twice. His playmates called him Brother Boring, and his mother regarded him a freak because of the abnormally large size of his head. Because it means when he was born, he was not a normal child. He was totally different from others. He was not interested in playing with his friends. So everybody was calling him boring. Even at school, his headmaster regarded him as stupid and good for nothing. But he proved them all wrong. Yes, as his friends were calling him boring, even at his school, his headmaster was saying that he is stupid because he was not doing the same work as the other kids were doing, because he was different abled child. Next, this is just what he used to do when he grew up. He met a fellow student. Now it is the PPT that is showing when he was grown up, right? He met a fellow student, Maliva Mary, at the university, equally intelligent and clever. Later on, they married and had two sons. But unfortunately, their marriage did not survive and were divorced in 1919. Means when he grew up, he fell in love with Meliva Mary and he got married. He had two sons, but she was not able to understand his intellectual intelligence and she left him. But that was not the end. After that, he continued doing his work. After completing his education, Albert worked as a technical expert in the patent office at Bern. Here he worked secretly of his idea on relativity. In 1915, he published his paper on special theory of relativity, followed by the world famous equation E is equal to mc square. You all have read this formula in your science subject, and if you have any doubts, any queries, I think you can take help of your science teacher. She will explain it to you very beautifully, right? Means it was not the ending. He continued doing work even when he got unsuccessful in his married life. In 1915, he published his paper on general theory of relativity, which gave an absolutely new definition to concept of gravity. This theory made him a famous figure. In 1919, during the solar eclipse, his theory came out to be accurate and revolutionized physics. In 1933, he emigrated to USA as Nazis had come to power in Germany. Means in 1915 he published his paper and the topic was theory of relativity. E is equal to mc square, which gave an absolutely new definition to concept of gravity. And due to this theory, he became a famous figure. And in 1919, during the solar eclipse, his theory came out to be accurate. Whatever he had done the invention, whatever he has given the theory, that came true. And there was a revolution in physics. In 1933, he emigrated to USA. Means he moved to USA as Nazis had come to power in Germany, because in Germany at that time there was a rule of Nazis. Now come to the next PPT. He did not want his finding and research to be used for destruction. Means he was thinking, whatever I am inventing, I want to use it for the welfare of society, for the welfare of human beings, for the welfare of this universe. And he didn't want that his inventions to be used for the destruction, for the harm, for the society. In 1938, when Germany discovered the principle of nuclear fission, he was the first person to write to the American president about the dangers of the atomic bombs. Right? Because he was having a truly beautiful mind, and when he came to know that the inventions being done by the scientists are being used for the destruction of the society, for the human beings, he wrote a letter to American president and he told about the dangers of the atomic bombs to him. In next we will read. In 1945, when America dropped the atomic bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, he was deeply hurt and wrote the United Nations for the formation of a world government to prevent recurrence of such destruction. Means again in 1945, when America did the effort and he dropped the atomic bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. We all have heard in the previous classes, we all have read it about the Nagasaki and Hiroshima, the tragic things happened there and what was the loss to the lives of the people and the health and you can say the property. Number of things we know about it, right? So he was deeply hurt by all this, and at that time again he wrote to the United Nations for the formation of a world government to prevent recurrence of such destructions, means just to say them to avoid to do all these harms to the human beings. And after that he spent his life in politics and he was advocating, means he was on the side of the people. He was becoming a lawyer and he was doing the favor for the world peace and democracy. Now come to the next. A truly beautiful mind. Throughout his life, he was thinking for the welfare of the human being, for the nature, and everything he was doing that was for the benefit for the human beings, right? But hardly matters, he was unsuccessful in his married life. He was successful in his career after the invention of that discovery of that formula that was of relativity. E is equal to mc square, right? He died at the age of 76 in the year 1955. The next, there are some questions. You have to find out the answers of these questions. Book is there with you. You will read this chapter from there and you will try to find out the answers. In next assignment, I'll send you the answers of all these questions and few more questions there would be, right? And the next thing that I want to say you, I'm going to show you this PPT, Albert Einstein, about him and the discoveries, how he developed, he explained, and the famous formula given to us by him in physics was E is equal to mc square, right? Now this is all about a truly beautiful mind and the mind of Albert Einstein, who did a lot of efforts to save human beings, to save this earth. And now you are going to read this lesson from your books, and after that in next we will do the discussion on it. Thank you and have a blissful day ahead.